Welcome back everybody to the Friday Night's Analyst Stats. Today we'll be joined by Subin Yoon and Lira and Pon for today's analysis.
안녕하세요, 리라
It was Sandbox SeolHaeOne Prince versus KT Rolster, the two teams with an identical situation. And KT was the first one to start off with a victory in game number 1. KT was having a lot of winning lanes, which actually came off of their draft. SeolHaeOne made a mistake, missing their one-ban card, and Orianna and Ezreal had a very higher edge over Kai'Sa and Twisted Fate. It's a very traditional counter pick into those two lane champions, and at the same time, Tompkins was a good counterpart into Twisted Fate's CC. Well, SeolHaeOne was looking for a lot of engage with Kai'Sa ultimate and Twisted Fate ultimate in the side lanes, but KT kind of was a huge block with the Tompkins disabling their plan. In addition to that, Kuro was able to counter jungle and find their enemy jungle a lot, so Nidalee had a lot of space to out-jungle the opponents. This was the point where KT had a huge lead in the beginning of the game. Look at the bottom lane. Kai'Sa and Rakan actually had a very leading situation, but at the same time, after Trundle got rid of the control ward in the brush, Nidalee was aware that Trundle is still around the Dragon Pit area, and Nidalee double checks with his control ward and sees that Trundle is trying the dragon. Because it was the Cloud Drake, he was doing a lot of damage onto Trundle. So it was a smite fight between level 6 Nidalee versus level 5 Trundle with less than 10% of HP. Bona could exert a lot of huge pressure onto Trundle, and there was no reason for Ixu to actually answer the TP from Smab, looking at the top side minion wave. However, Ixu took that TP, and it was a huge loss for the side of SeolHaeOne Prince. After that, we had another huge win on the side of KT Rolster. As KT members, Kai'Sa on the top side, clearing out the minion wave, shoving into the top tier 2 turret, Tompkins just walked straight forward to the enemy's face. It was a very reckless move, but there was a reason for this action. The Susan was expanding their territory before they contested for that Drake. I think it was a setup because this engage from Tompkins and the Orianna ult was really on point. If Kai'Sa goes in with his ultimate, it's actually really hard to pull off a very good and ideal result because, well, she can pick up 1 or 2 kills, but at the same time, it's really easy for the opponents to kind of focus on Kai'Sa in the very front line. So that was a huge damage loss on the side of Sandbox SeolHaeOne Prince. That was a win for the side of KT, and let's check out the player of the game. It's gonna be Bono or Kuro, and it was Bono on Nidalee. He had a huge jungle gap all throughout the game, and that first dragon fight was so critical. It was almost like Trundle and Nidalee was on the same team because it was a smite after Trundle's auto attack. Besides of the objective control and scaling, Bono had 100% pure participation, so he was just doing a very excellent work all throughout the department in League of Legends. And he won every smite fight that happened in this game. Nidalee was hopping around to dodge all the skills from SeolHaeOne Prince, and Bono picked up 7 votes out of 12. Sadly, Kuro did not get any votes. But Kuro did make a lot of lead by dodging all the gank attempts and doing a lot of pressure with the Orianna ball. So let's check out whether KT can close out the series with a win in game number 2.
Thank you so much, G-Sun, as per usual, for your wonderful analyst desk translation. And yeah, let's see whether Kuro can actually get some votes. Feels a little bit bad for Pon there, but I'm glad that Tusun got a bit of a look in. 3 votes there, but Bono, as LS so correctly voted for, is going to walk away with that one. And like I've seen what you guys have been saying. You know, it's likely one of the best games we've seen from Bono ever. And I don't know whether that's necessarily good news or bad news, but for this series, it's certainly fantastic. We'll see whether Bono is going to be able to continue to progress further in this season, because so far it has been a relatively rough one, especially their last matchup into Damwon, which was a very swift 0-2. Let's see whether it's going to continue to be swift in this series, though, in the other direction. As KT now putting on some red shorts, and we'll see whether SeolHaeOne Prince are going to actually, ban with all of their bans instead of letting one slip through.
Yeah. See how this one ends up working out for you.
Indeed. SeolHaeOne Prince, see what their first ban's going to be. A little bit more flexibility here on this side of the draft. KT, a little bit forced into banning away that Varus, as Kalista is going to be the first cab off the rank. In fact, was banned by KT last game. Alright, we're gonna double ban, at least use the double noise, just to make sure that Varus is super banned this time around. Still 100% pick ban. I believe he's sitting at 50% win rate at the moment, with a few of our teams being a little bit more successful at leaving it available.
Yeah.
The lethal tempo Varus, certainly not one that inspired many. As Ashe taken away from KT. SeolHaeOne Prince might just be banning everything on the bottom lane, as Karma's going to be taken away.
And now will Aphelios or Israel end up biting the dust?
I think you ban Ezreal away from aiming here and then pick Aphelios, because now you don't have to deal with the Ashe, potentially. Not sure. The Ashe is a little bit curious.
Yeah. Well, there's the Ezreal.
All right, well, we're correct so far.
KT now have option to ban away Aphelios. And that would be very interesting. 580 carry ban.
Yeah, wow. That's exactly what it's going to be.
Wow. This is a... I don't even... I'm not totally sure. Can we get some Twitch hovers?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yuumi is available.
And some wide peepo happies.
Yeah.
Oh, LEC's later tonight.
Yeah.
Crowny.
Oh, dear. All right, well, Trundle, priorities back up to the very top once again. I saw him slip through until 4th pick on red side in the last series. Just ludicrous, especially for the LCK. Back where he belongs. First picked here by SeolHaeOne Prince. As I think, you know, we could just see Yuumi Olaf locked in here by KT, theoretically. Yeah. But you don't like picking Olaf into the Trundle that much. And, you know, Bono does definitely love his Lee Sin, which was banned in game number 1.
Well, Lee Sin is going to get picked up here by KT. And we'll see what they end up pairing him with. This is obviously a very weird champion pick because, again, what I mentioned in the previous game, you go through all the games where Lee Sin's won, and you actually ask yourself, what is his contribution? And you also ask yourself why he looks like he's just a sinking ship in mid-late game transitions where it's so hard to find kick targets. Especially in the current meta, he's just very, very vulnerable.
Especially with all of our 80 carries that are just so good at getting out of kicks, as we might have bullet hell for the bottom lane. As Yuumi Lucian could come in for Hybrid and Secret. We saw this work out very, very well for DRX already this season. And was an old favorite of ours here in the LCK. Don't know whether Yumi's ever been part of anyone's favorite things, especially if they're going up against it, but have seen some good performances. And Mickey's hovering Ahri as his answer to Twisted Fate. Certainly something that did work into the champion in seasons past, but not going to be locked away as we've got the final time.
I actually wouldn't mind. Well, this is actually a little bit interesting. Jhin is getting hovered, but whatever you can pair with Bard is going to be really good here in general. I would actually like to see Bard picked up before the AD carry, because the AD carries, the pool is still actually wide.
Yeah, I mean, it's so thin that it's now wide, right?
Yes, as weird as that is. So you cut off like the top of the I don't even know, the coconut? Is the coconut hollow?
Yeah, I like to think that we've eliminated the A tier and the S tier, and the B tier is extraordinarily full.
Yes, there is so much space inside the ball that you've cut into.
Yeah.
And
you're getting further down the coconut. I get it. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like, the circumference is getting larger.
There's a much more articulate way to say that.
Yeah, I know, but
I am failing.
I mean, at least we're there together, you know, in this absolutely terrible analogy. As Maokai going to be taken away from Tucson. Better ban that volley bear.
Yep.
I wonder whether volley bear still works as a fastable champion. In theory,
yeah, he is.
It does. Yeah.
I think support and jungle are actually his best roles. Top, not so much. So I would be a little bit curious, but I'm very bewildered here as how Bard is not considered just such a good spot all around.
Although you don't see Bard paired with Senna all that often. We're gonna the fasting Bard situation. Make sure he gets to his rapid fire cannon earlier. I do like the idea. But may not necessarily work out. Would be very interested, though. Is Kennen going to be taken away?
Well, Kennen getting removed is very surprising. Wukong could end up getting fasted by Senna.
I like this. Still a flex pick, so you can save Smeb's pick till last, or just give him the monkey and make sure that your bottom lane is in the best position possible. Pantheon's still available. I mean, that is frightening, especially when you've got man drop into Destiny Gate. Everyone can sort of turn up at the same time. As Ixu, here's the Alawi. We mentioned this. It was banned in game number 1 and looked over in game number 2. And Silas is going to be picked in the end. So that we could still get our Alawi.
Yeah, the very strange thing is that Silas is kind of awkward. When you look at a lot of these ultimates right now, yes, there's Destiny Gate and there's Senna too, but Wukong and Lee Sin, very situational. Okay, so it's going to be Silas versus Twisted Fate. Now, I don't know if, well, Kuro's actually probably not going to go hybrid Twisted Fate, but that would be a lot better against Silas than AP. And Alawi is here, so Lucian is one of Alawi's most difficult matchups. Set is...
I feel like Showstopper works pretty well in your favor. You get to move Alawi away from her tentacles. Gnar is different. Fasting Gnar. Let's go. Put the Wukong top lane.
Actually,
no, you don't want Wukong into Alawi.
One of the... I mean, Lucian is so much better than Gnar in this instance, because Gnar eventually does still funnel into what SeolHaeOne Prince are trying to achieve. So, it's just a very peculiar champion altogether. It will have control in the laning phase, but it will taper off harder than, say, a Lucian would, and that's where the concern comes in. So, Ixu is... I mean, SeolHaeOne, you'd have to imagine this is all sort of just comfort at this point, and they are screaming out of their minds right now.
I mean, sometimes you gotta hype yourself up when you fall down in game number 1 pre-30 minutes, and Ixu does have his hands on his Alawi. He is the resident cheerleader for this team, and he's now on a champion that he's known for, right? Yeah. You can see like how a team fight's supposed to go if SeolHaeOne Prince are going to win. You know, you get the bullet time across the enemy team. You've got the final chapter there as well, holding everyone in place, and then you just smash everyone with tentacles, and the fight's over in an instant. Layering all of that together and actually making it work, though, can be very difficult, especially if you don't have control of the map. So SeolHaeOne Prince, there is a lot on them to make sure that they get control early and they hold on to that. But KT on the other side, we've got that fasting Wukong happening once again. Aiming going to be the one piloting the Senna this time out. Kuro is on his very famous Twisted Fate, whose win rate at the beginning of this season was extraordinarily high. See whether it's going to be pushed back up there after losing a game or two in more recent times by picking up a win here on the side of KT. But SeolHaeOne Prince, a little bit more of an interesting composition. Whether it's going to work out is something we're about to find out.
Well, Let's take a look at how the play is going to work out. KT, they're starting off with a fan everywhere. Tushin is going to be the one piloting the Wukong.
Yep, of course, very famous for playing animals in the support position to very great effect. His bear being our personal favorite. Fasted volley bear that he debuted here in the LCK was extraordinarily impressive.
Rest in pieces for the volley bear as he was reworked.
Indeed. We still see more volley bear now, though, so I guess maybe we should be happy. His dance is still awesome.
You know what's really cool is that didn't Riot say that no champion is ever actually removed from the game? They're just still in the code somewhere.
Oh,
so volley bear really living up.
Just like tangled in the spaghetti somewhere.
It's tangled in there. So in there lies old Mordekaiser. Old Atrox.
Oh, don't tell me about it. I'll get all nostalgic.
Old volley bear.
You mean old Mordekaiser or old Mordekaiser? Or old Mordekaiser? Oh. I know, we're going back really, really far, but there are some champions that have certainly been, gluttons when it comes to the rework bandwagon. I loved original Mordekaiser. He was just so great.
Yeah.
Walk at people with your shield on. Doesn't really matter what you do. And your Q, like, throws out other little Qs.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Just gold. As, Kuro, a couple of losses now, but still 9 wins. Pretty damn good.
Kuro 9-2 on the Twisted Fate. And this team composition, I mean, round and round, SP, they do have some benefit on their side, but if KT get ahead, it's very hard for SP to stabilize, and it all comes back to Alawi, who's likely going to be behind in EXP, behind in gold. She's going to have a much harder time in the game.
You can see Smed putting a lot of pressure on top side if you have a look at those CS numbers, but now with Ixu having that wave underneath his turret might be helping out here. His aiming's at about 250 health, and Flawless is going to make his way in. Good ward there, does spot things out, but KT do lose control despite getting level 2 at around the same time. Wildcard's not actually avoided there by Mickey, who goes down to 200 himself. Kuro eating through his corrupting potion charges at the same clip as Mickey. See whether this could be a bait opportunity for Flawless to actually capitalize on, but KT know exactly what side of the map this Trundle's on, and so Kuro going to be cheating to exactly the right side of the map. Everything working out here for KT so far as Bono going to turn up, see what he can do as far as counter gank opportunities. He's going to move towards this top side Rift Scuttler. So things going absolutely fine for KT so far, apart from maybe this bottom lane struggling.
Yep. And we'll see what the transitions all have in store for us. Ixu.
Okay, he's going to test the Spirit of the Gnaw, but I have a feeling that he's going to pass.
Oh!
As there's the Q. It's going to land. Bono just locks down First Blood. Easy as you like.
And that's a very nice First Blood pickup. Required 0 flashes.
Absolutely loved the patience Bono showed as well. Lined it up and took the right shot.
He's been playing very good so far in this game number 2 and 1. In this series. How about that? There we go. That's the better way to throw that one down. All right. That's not fair.
Well, that was a wallop.
That's really cool. Yeah, land 1 ability and awesome. Great. Love it. 50% HP.
Yep.
Take it away.
And still going to be spawning a whole bunch of more tentacles around Smeb that are going to be frustrated after that was actually killed. So that's why you do max that ability. Just Spirit, pretty damn good. Oh, that was so cool as well. Did you see that? Just slid it over. Beautiful stuff by Bono. Smeb losing the trade afterwards. Don't care about that one. All about Bono.
Well, we can see that Ixu looks like he's going Tiamat on Alawi.
Yeah.
Or I'm not totally sure what direction he's going, actually.
An eclectic bunch of items.
Yeah.
Actually. I think building a Phage as early as possible is definitely a good idea. Alawi does like to be able to stick to her targets. Maneuverability, certainly a good thing. And cooldown reduction, something that you absolutely love. So Black Cleaver likely to be that first item. As you guys probably are aware, Mickey in this mid lane just clears that one out. He's doing absolutely fine as well up against Kuro. It's going to be all about when these level 6 marks get hit. And when Kuro and Bono can get around this map and pair the Dragon Rage kick with the Destiny Gate for pretty comfortable pickoffs, is Bono not going to be able to find the Q, and that's why Flawless is able to win that trade so handedly.
Yep.
Good pillar.
Senna on her way back down into bot lane. Cloud Dragon, first one of the game yet again. Kuro is actually going to miss a little bit of CS. As
What about the
Mickey?
experience?
Yeah. Destiny Gate is available. He's just moving over to come in and tag the Dragon, get a little bit of EXP, get some mana restore. Now he's going to walk away with his E fully stacked. You got the stack deck.
Like it a lot. Make sure you maximize any damage.
You know, they
Move
raised
into the lane.
Twisted Fate's base AD to 52 so that it's a deck,
Yeah, that's actually beautiful.
but I feel like it should be 53. You know, ace up the sleeve. That's what it should have.
Oh, that's true.
They really lost out on the opportunity here.
And also, Shaco fans are going to be pretty upset because I believe 52 doesn't actually include the Joker, which is unfortunate, as there's the leap of faith from Ixu, but Smeb looks like he's going to be able to make it out of here very easily. Also has Mega Gnar to give him that extra health back.
And this is also the awkward thing is Gnar can't really ride an advantage as hard as a Lucian could. Lucian can just make the lane completely unplayable. So, Alawi actually, very surprising, but Ixu's managed to be pretty much okay even after that first blood, blowing away the flash. Smeb is somehow down in EXP. He just dinged 7, but Ixu has been 7, yeah.
Hybrid in trouble as Tucson looking for an opportunity. No Cyclone available, and aiming still level 4, which is suboptimal.
Yep.
Oh, Bono's back though, and Ixu doesn't have his flash available yet. Some wards to be taken down. And Hybrid just keeps tanking these snares.
Yeah. Taking a lot of damage. Twisted Fate still hasn't really utilized Destiny Gate, so lane manipulation, not really a very big thing that's happening right now. Lee Sin is not going to be able to make his way down to... Oh.
Alright, that's Silas coming in with his own destiny. Is Mickey going to get the flash out of aiming, but in the meantime, Tucson's already killed the Misfortune. As Kuro's going to come in, and it looks like the guy who actually has Destiny Gate as his ultimate is going to be the victor in this scenario. 3 kills already for KT at 8 minutes.
And that was just a really good move. Over, they match the Twisted Fate ultimate. And KT now with a 3-0 lead. 2,500 gold in the bank. They're going to roll an Infernal Dragon. It's going to be really good for them.
It's feeling a little bit like game number 1, LS. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Smep placing a control ward down there. Bono going to get their Herald. Let's take a look at this one more time. Look at Kuro moving on the minimap, anticipating that Mickey would be coming with Destiny Gate, because realistically, there's no Destiny Gate available for Twisted Fate here if he's just coming down on his own.
Yeah.
Because SP would have to agree to take the fight, which there's no way to really get them to do.
As the kickback, Flawless going to get snared. Bono with the max range Q that was unnecessary. The Sen is going to be able to lock that one down, and SeolHaeOne Prince, much like in game number 1, look like they may have collapsed here in the early game. Smeb trying to get out of the way of a lot of these tentacles and does so. Not going to have his spirit tested this time around. That allows him to win out on even more of these trades. So we still have close to 5 minutes left on turret plates as well, and you can see KT moving up to try and take them down.
Well, Alawi's going to have to show us her moves.
Oh dear.
Oh,
there's
that's
the Gnar into the wall.
yeah,
Wallop.
dead.
Yep. Real dead. Wasn't even close.
Well, Smeb and aiming now. Just going to end up sharing a turret plate. Gnar does not appreciate that, I'll tell you that much.
Down here bottom side.
Yeah.
We'll at least be able to get himself a plate here, Tucson. He's still going to go aggressive.
Be really careful, because if Yuumi manages to snare him, he's dead to Misfortune Ultimate. Mickey down here now as well. And I'm not honestly so sure what he's doing. He's going to finally back off. They know about Mickey and Flawless. And so these are very unfortunate map rotations. This is almost a 5,000 gold lead, by the way, at 10 minutes. So this is completely blown out of the water. I'm not
It's feeling like an early dinner.
like Godzilla did a cannonball in the Pacific. I'm not really, not really sure.
It's actually an adorable image.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. As, this is how this all started. It was actually flawless. Started off the fight. Bono's going to move away from Shelly. That was a very nice Q that he landed, but ultimately unnecessary in the end.
And then Ixu, he misses the test of spirit and then just gets slammed up against the wall by Smeb. Very easy takedown. And it's hard to imagine a world where SP come back because Yuumi and MF are not particularly ahead at all in this game. They're behind. Silas is a useless champion against the enemy team comp. We outlined that in the draft phase. He doesn't really have anything that he's going for in particular. And Alawi is very behind. And she would have been the main centerpiece to the team comp, being able to have a leg to stand on.
And now even further behind than you can see in the CS margin or anything like that. You might look at it and say 6 CS, doesn't really matter, but Smeb has this whole wave to pick up. He's taken down the entirety of the plate's top side, and they still have 3.5 minutes left to get even more.
This game is just looking so doomed for SeolHaeOne Prince, because also the Infernal's about to get picked up, which is going to give them a lot of free stats. There's still 2.5 minutes on turret plates as well.
Oh, that is a fantastic pillar from Flawless there. Knew that he had to deny Bono so that he couldn't get in range for a Q after that gold card. So he's going to keep himself alive. Tucson can move out of the way of the Make It Rain.
I'm very surprised with how reserved KT is actually playing this. And also Smeb just perma-shoving up Alawi in top lane rather than trying to utilize the item advantage to exert pressure elsewhere, because there's still turret plates in mid.
Ooh.
And so a little bit surprising.
Yep.
Now, it is still 5,000 gold lead, basically, here for KT. I don't know what SP are thinking.
All right, gold card comes in. There's the teleport. Bono over the wall. It is a pincer. There's the flash. Kick onto Flawless. They're just going to get rid of him, as now Tucson's just spinning behind Hybrid, and the final chapter utilized just to try and stop the monkey from killing them. KT will be able to take down this Infernal Drake. 2 more, and they'll be sitting on a soul, and it's going to be a mountain once again.
And that's
back-to-back Earth, Wind, and Fires.
That is a very, very rough dragon for SP to have roll. Honestly, I mean, I put the L in LS, and I'm going to have to give SP an L here. This is not looking like the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's they don't have a W in their name because they chose to spell the 1 like O-N-E instead of W-O-N, which maybe they'll change that. There's the kickback. Go for the jungler if you're fighting around an objective such as this. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And Tucson, totally okay with not locking down any kills just there. They wanted to create space to collect themselves a free dragon. And you can see KT, we're up to a flying start. This is actually on track for a perfect game.
Yeah, it is. And so I don't really know if SP are somehow going to come back in this game. It's going to be on the back of Alawi doing the things that the Alawi main doesn't even know what's going on.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? And she slams the tentacles and things start happening.
Yep, you see the tentacles get slammed and you know that that player is slamming their forehead into their keyboard as well. That's how that one works. I actually, you know, remember playing with Pulse back in the day, an Alawi aficionado. And he certainly did show us that. Didn't actually watch what his forehead was doing while he was playing, because we would often play in booths back in OCE. But never mind that. KT still utter control. Turret plates have fallen down, so SP not going to be bleeding anymore in that regard. But you're right, it just feels like, what are they supposed to do? And what tools do they have to get themselves back in? And outside of the Alawi doing some crazy Alawi things, I'm just not sure. It's now Bono sneaking in behind Mickey. Mickey does have flash. Shouldn't be going down too easily. That snare is not going to land either. And okay, Secret Agent Bono, that's not what you do when you come out of that brush. Test the Spirit does come in. Bono's going to break it as early as he possibly can. Spawn some tentacles here. No harm, no foul.
Well, 2.5 minutes until the Mountain Dragon comes up, and KT just seem to be taking it very slow and reserved. And we just look at the items that are going to be coming in soon, and there's not really a whole lot of hope. Mickey is stuck on Proto Belt. You can't really imagine what he's going to try to even go towards second, because nothing's going to come online by the second dragon. Twisted Fate We're going to be at 7, 8 stacks on Roa at that third fight. Misfortune's only 1 core item. Yuumi also very far behind due to the way that everything's been transpiring this game, and so it's just near impossible for them to really fight. Even if Yuumi tries to attach to Alawi, I just don't... They're not going to have the damage to break through Senna. Everything is just going to be very hard. They do manage to get themselves a turret.
Yep, so that's going to destroy the perfect game. So at least SeolHaeOne Prince have that going for them. Ixu up here towards the top side is also going to have an okay time against Smev as he continues to get pushed in. Mickey with his destiny, but I don't know whether he really wants to be teleporting anywhere as Smev's on a ward. But Ixu not going to be able to steal away the Gromp. Aiming coming into the rush, and this is probably one of the strongest centers that we've seen for a really long time, especially of the Glacial Augment variety. 2-0 and 3 right now, and actually has a bounty on her head. Aiming certainly performing well. Sorry, but actually poked down a lot of damage. It's just not something that we're used to seeing.
Yeah, absolutely not. All right, 1 minute until the Mountain Dragon. We've just been playing a whole lot of ping pong. Here at the LCK, we do not freeze.
Nope, that's not what we're worried about.
We melt. That is exactly...
It's summer, dude. It's real hot, actually, over here. I struggle with
By the way, when you say the word summer, do you think of hot or cold?
I think of hot because the name summer is...
So
even though we're in the summer,
do they say winter when it's summer in the northern hemisphere?
No, it's just opposite. So, like, summer is still hot. Winter is
still
cold.
Oh, you just use the word to describe it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what's the season called?
What do you mean?
Wait.
No, you just flip it around. Just flip it around. So we're upside down, the southern hemisphere, right? So when it's winter in America, it's summer in Australia.
I just realized that I think of the words as month periods, not just like weather. Oh, that's weird. I'm an idiot. You take it away.
No. It's one of those things. It's southern hemisphere gets a little bit confusing for some. You know, it's all based on our experiences. There's a destiny to come through. That's going to be Kuro's one. Make It Rain, not going to really find too many targets, but neither is Bono. Mickey comes in, but misses absolutely everything, and now the Leap of Faith comes forward. Tusa not going to be falling to that one, though, as that was a decoy. Almost tricked me there, as it looks like SeolHaeOne Prince are going to be able to take down this Drake, unless Bono can get back in here. It's down to pretty low health, as Flawless now on it by himself. In goes Tucson, wants to be able to take this one down himself, but he's not going to be able to. As in fact, the Misfortune is doing a lot of work in this fight, making sure that KT can't get in. But as you can see, it doesn't even really matter. KT just move on over. They're going to take the outer turret in the mid lane. And yes, they lost a Mountain Drake. They're still going to reign supreme when it comes to successful objective taking.
They're up 6,000 gold right now. They're going to end up taking away this blue. Now, the other thing is the base levels. If you look across the board, you have Lee Sin is up 2.5 levels. Mickey somehow... Mickey's ahead of Kuro, even though Kuro did just ding 12. And we got a little bit of a fight going on right now. The Blind Monk versus Silas.
Yeah, Bono actually not going to get baited into that fight either. Understands that a couple of extra members were moving on up there. It did look like he was doing a bit of extra damage. We're going to have a look at this fight one more time.
And we'll just take a look at how this transpired. And Ixu is really just the gatekeeper here. It's so hard to approach Alawi.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is a team that is 6,000 gold down and an Infernal Drake, and Alawi's basically acting as Gandalf in this fight, saying, "You shall not pass." And every single time you see Alawi, it doesn't matter how far behind she is, doesn't matter if she's underleveled, she always looks so menacing, and it's always so confusing to me when pro teams around the world and players refuse to try to pick her up.
Yeah, and I mean, actually, there's one rule to Alawi. I think it's actually beautiful with how she's made, as Tucson is going to get another triple knock up here. Gets underneath his turret, but Mickey, Kingslayer, going to get his health back. And he's going to lock down the kill onto the Wukong. Meanwhile, KT pushing on the bottom side. But, yeah, Ixu, like... I said Ixu, but I mean Alawi. Alawi has just such a clear win condition, right? You get to the objective first, and you're likely to win. Very similar to something like Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
You have to set up your tentacles, And look, they were set up, but when there's 3 versus 1, it's just not quite enough there. And now Ixu is 0, and
she still sends out so much damage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's the real... So, the way that I liken her, she's the AD, or the physical damage version of Cassiopeia against hard engage in short-range team compositions. She takes on that mantle, and I really like what you're saying, because I think people don't think about it enough. Well, actually, take it away.
All right. Well, Tucson, I believe, doesn't have his ultimate available just yet. Flawless is still going to go down extraordinarily low. You can see Secret trying to keep Hybrid up, but I don't know whether it's going to work, and Bono's going to put his heel into the Misfortune. That's going to be a triple kill for the Lee Sin as KT move it straight over to the Baron.
And that's going to be the Baron getting taken by KT. This is going to persist into the Mountain Drake, which is coming up in 2 minutes. And this probably is all that she wrote here for SeolHaeOne Prince.
Yeah, it was looking a bit dicey before that moment, and it's only looking worse now, as you can see. Kuro reacting to his teleport. It's a really nice play here from KT, despite Tucson not having his ultimate.
This is the bread and butter thing. You ask yourself, is it really worth losing the game over 500 gold? Is it imperative that we get this mid-tier 1 turret right now? And the answer is obviously no.
Yeah.
So they end up getting clapped. Alawi was dead during this, and she's so important to the team comp. And like I was saying right before the team fight rudely interrupted us, was if Alawi is first to the objective, she's Gandalf. They just cannot try to pass. The Test of Spirit, her tentacle setup with her passive, everything is so obnoxious. If she has to come into you, things can get a little bit awkward, but she can still slowly encroach on your territory just by moving forward, constantly throwing out and aiming or fishing for the Spirit. But definitely much easier to play against in that regard. I'm just happy we got to see her. Don't really care that she's 0-3-0 because I think that she still showed her strengths.
Yeah, precisely.
Even though everything was going bad.
The fact that she was doing that at 0-2 as well and still requires that much respect certainly is enough to prove the point, in my opinion. Entirely agree with you. And I think that KT have now recognized that they just need to get to objectives first and control areas. As Smeb gets his Spirit tested, not going to die from it just yet, as he does have Mega Gnar coming up and the rest of his team coming down. SeolHaeOne Prince not going to be able to jump on the Gnar at this stage in time aiming. Alright, just going to get bopped a little bit there. Otherwise, it's going to be alright. Kuro in the mid lane, getting that split push on. And split push and Tucson on the top side of the map. Love to see it. Out of his Wukong. Very similar to his playstyle on the Volibear. Smeb down here on the bottom side. Still just trying to deal with it.
Oh, landed a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically how this works, but you can see Smeb playing pretty comfortably up against Ixu right now, even though still those E's are landing.
Alawi has 1 item. She did so much damage.
Yeah, right?
It's truly a sight to behold.
And it's just so much value for landing, like, literally 1 ability.
Yeah.
You land your E, you win a trade. It's so binary.
Yep. She is very, very, very good. Also, one of Volibear's biggest counters.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. He likes to jump in on
top
of you.
He likes to jump in, and then
you press the...
Well,
you're both jumping up and down?
In laning phase, it is a bit of a mini-game, because you can block Alawi's ultimate with your ultimate, and generally you have to save it, which is where the mini-game does come in. So the laning phase is a little bit interesting, but generally she puts him in spots where he can't really... He's ulting to save himself. It's not the other way around.
Well, that was a little bit sad. Flawless, unable to close any distance onto Smeb here towards the bottom side. Hopefully next time we do get to see some of this Volibear Alawi stuff. I just want to see I want to see Alawi from someone other than Ixu.
Yeah.
I want one of our players to realize that actually she is really good. She's going to die once again. Does get a Test of Spirit off. You saw how much damage it is capable of, but only 1 tentacle going off is absolutely not what we want to see. And this is KT just way too far ahead. So let's not include that in our analysis of Alawi. It's just going to make us sad and seem silly. It's over 10,000 gold in the lead here for KT.
Bullet time.
That clears out the wave. Buys a bit of time here for SeolHaeOne Prince.
Yep. And I mean, they're staring down the Mountain Soul. They're just trying to really hang on. Silas is not really that much of a champion right now. He has Protobelt and Zanya's, so pretty useless. versus this team composition. He has no damage, and he's not going to out-sustain some of the members on the side of KT. So a lot of it is going to come down to, can Yuumi set up a good enough bullet time, and can Alawi get a multi-man ultimate in the next Hail Mary team fight? But they're down 10,000 gold, and honestly, that was very rude. That ultimate? Yeah.
The chain CC really did make us quite upset. Because the Alawi should be better than that, but not happening this time around. Hybrid has been farming extraordinarily well. Currently sitting at 20 CS ahead of the clock. And also Flame Horizon Tucson, who is, I guess, his direct opposition when it comes to farm. Don't know whether it actually matters. You just need to look at the bounties above the heads of all of the KT players to understand just how ahead they are. As Flawless, he does have a Yuumi. Prowling Projectile does a fair bit of damage there to aiming, but this is what KT need to do. They just need to control the objectives before SeolHaeOne Prince. And then there's not too many options because the Alawi loses so much of her strength, as we were talking about. Tucson is just a bit of a living ward at the moment. Waiting for an opportunity. Ixu moves on in. Looks like they are going to be able to lock down their own popcorn chicken. Mountain Drake is going to be up in a minute and a half, and the Baron is going to be available in 30 seconds.
Well, we'll see what SP can actually manage to do at this team fight. Ixu has the cap on his shoulder.
Yep, Smeb has a Mortal Reminder completed.
Yeah, that's it's a very big Gnar right now.
He is a big boy. 2-0 and 5. But when you look at the top of the screen and it's 11-1, you can imagine that there are going to be some pretty impressive score lines.
Definitely report Tushin at the end of this game.
I know, 100%.
Now, here's something I really actually... I mean, some people are going to say, well, it's giving you 20% CDR. But Black Cleaver and Triforce, when you have two teammates that already have Black Cleaver for you, it just strikes me as very odd.
I just hate the redundancy on the Rage passive.
Yep.
I just really
You're
don't like
losing
it.
that value. You're not really getting total value out of the Shred because your teammates are helping you apply it on targets.
I mean, you basically instantly stack it to 5, right? I mean, that's cool.
I mean, yeah, well, 6.
Right.
Yeah. 7's after 6, I can count.
I told you, my mathematics really has been struggling recently.
Honestly, Valdez wouldn't have made it to 3. You know, like,
I appreciate that. There's Tucson, he's going to dive into the back line. They did not have vision of that whatsoever, as the Wukong is going to fall down, but so is the Misfortune. And now Alawi's trying to do her Alawi things, but has to flash out of the way, and in fact is just going to die. And it just looks like KT's wallets are too heavy at this stage, and SeolHaeOne Prince can't lift them up. The Baron should be taken here for free. And yes, Tucson fell down, but he absolutely did his job. Speaking of doing their job, aiming 2-0 and 10, only missing out on 1 kill as far as contribution is concerned. A very scary center, probably the scariest we've seen all season so far.
Yep. And let's take a look at what SeolHaeOne are going to try to do. They're going to respond by bursting down. Now, see, this is the DRX, by the way.
Yeah,
this is the DRX. Or, you know what, honestly, I almost just said the F word. Let's just call it the LCK. You know, like,
that starts with L, though. I'm confused. We're going to have another team fight, so I'll just take it away for a second. As Mickey just running around the back of the pit, he has absolutely nowhere to go, and Secret is going to suffer the same fate. Smeb trying to get on top of Flawless. I have a feeling he's going to be able to, especially with that flash as the Make It Rain comes in, but Smeb is going to have his Gnar real soon. That's a triple kill, in fact, as the kickback to deliver a quadra, but Ixu's going to flash the Gnar. Will get underneath this inhibitor turret. Don't know whether he's exactly safe just yet, as aiming does so much damage, and Bono locks down the kill, landing that Q. Smeb would have liked it. Would have liked to see a Gnar pentakill at this stage of the game, but KT just happy to see a dead Nexus, and I have a feeling they are very close to locking this one down at a very similar clip to game number 1. We're sitting at 29 minutes and 50 seconds, and KT are already dancing next to the enemy fountain.
Well, that is going to do it for game number 2. What a fast series.
Yeah.
Overall, KT really making a bit of a statement here.
And I wasn't expecting it, to be honest. I was going into this series thinking that SeolHaeOne Prince were probably going to be able to take away at least one of these games, but certainly not able to. KT, very good performance here, and maybe this is going to be the start of something.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that KT aiming, obviously showing a lot of good play. And the other thing is that Bono just had a very, very good performance here tonight. Very, very surprising. Smeb continuing to be very consistent up there in the top lane, which is good news for them. KT's next matches, however, going to be Afrika and DRX.
A little bit scary.
Before they start to get any easy matchups. So that is, or easier, I should say.
Yeah, they had a little bit of time outside of the fry pan, but they're going to jump into the fire pretty soon. Because they face Team Dynamics, who were performing very, very well in their first match. That was their debut, I believe. And took down KT, raised some eyebrows in favor of Dynamics, who recently fell to DRX, not necessarily living up to all of the hype, but certainly some of it.
Yep.
But Genji and Damwon, they're really difficult opposition, especially at this stage. Genji looking in flying form, Damwon look unbelievable, especially off the back of Showmaker with all of his success in solo queue, and Damwon just being really good at scrims in general. Damwon with momentum are a very, very scary team. So, I mean, KT, this is going to mean a lot to them, especially with the way that they were able to lock down these two victories. I think a lot of people were looking at Bono and wondering where Tarzan is to come and save KT, you know? But after this game, I'm feeling like Bono definitely earning his spot on this roster. And going from Nidalee to Lee Sin, very aggressive champions, but played them out very, very well.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that we're going to look at a solo pog here for Bono.
Yeah, I think
things go correct.
Very possible that he does end up getting solo player of the game, and we'll hear from him in the MVP interview.
Yeah, and we'll hear from him regardless.
Yeah, well, that's true. As the next matchup, though, for SeolHaeOne is it's very unfortunate, but it is going to be DRX. So,
ooh. Yeah, they actually go up against DRX at very similar times. It's only a day or two that separate between them. Because you can see KT will be up against DRX in the first match, I believe, next week. Something like that.
Well, we take a look at some of the highlights here. And this was the very good Destiny Gate match by Twisted Fate. Ixu was already behind at this point in time, especially after that level 1 gank. I mean, he played the lane out after that very well and salvaged it, but it just was not really enough. This was the end. Trundle, he screamed for his life. Was not going to be of any use.
He wanted to go back under his bridge, I think.
I don't blame him.
Time. And so this is Tucson teleporting in with no ultimate. The KT just being better in this particular fight. They had a lot more money, but this is what a snowball's all about. You just have to go for the opportunities that you can find, and SeolHaeOne Prince, unfortunately, found themselves in the river where they did not belong. And yes, they probably did need about this many people to still take down Ixu. He was able to farm out very well as Tucson gets this dive once again. And this was with Ixu still transitioning, still walking through the jungle, unable to actually get enough time to get all of the tentacles in position, and then, Leap of Faith was used into a stun into his death. So KT playing around the strengths of the Alawi very, very well, even though we did see what Alawi is capable of in previous fights.
Well, definitely a bit of a stomp here in this game.
I think it's just really good to see that this KT roster are able to get themselves together, because so many of us were just so nostalgic looking at Kuro and Smeb back together again. The fact that Aiming and Tucson are so impressive to watch in so many of their games.
That very last highlight, it instantly came into my head. Liu Kang versus Goro is what it looked like.
Yeah.
The bicycle kick.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are some really great bicycle kick memes, by the way, on the internet.
Oh, I just realized there's no, they have a lot of Mortal Kombat as skins on some of the champions.
Yeah, true. I mean, Shen.
Shen is a really good example. He has the Sub-Zero, he has the Scorpion.
Yep.
And they even made Chameleon, which is a Philios, which is really cool.
A little bit more abstract in the reference, but I do like it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised, actually, that there's not like a Liu Kang-esque Lee Sin skin.
I mean, Pax Jax is very Raiden, so we've got that one.
Yeah,
too.
that one, yeah.
My favorite skin in the game, by the way. I was very proud when I got that one a very, very long time ago. Quite difficult as an Australian to pick that skin up. Anyway, that's a bit of an aside, and we need to continue praising KT because they are looking much better after this one. And after you guys were watching Damwon just take them down pretty easily, Damwon did the same thing to T1. So this might mean that those of us that are wanting KT to make it to the playoffs, that 5th spot could have their name on it. Although there is some stiff competition for that one as well. I think that our bottom 3 are looking pretty confirmed, or bottom 2 at least, in Sandbox not really getting across the line, and SeolHaeOne is also struggling a lot so far this season. But Afrika have had their moments. KT have now found a moment for themselves. Humble Life, another team that is probably towards that bottom side of the standings as well.
I mean, it's really looking like the top 4 is going to be DRX, Genji, T1, and Damwon.
Yep.
And then who's fighting for the 5th slot is actually Dynamics, KT, and Afrika.
Yeah.
Which is very even.
I think it's actually really cool, right?
I really like this because it feels like we have actually quite a bit of teams again in the LCK, even though the top 4 is obviously very heavy.
Yeah.
Last split in spring, there was a period where 3rd through 10th were all like actually.
Yeah, that's a one.
Yeah.
7-0-3 on the Lee Sin though. Player of the game goes to Bono, as we would expect. Played this one out really, really beautifully. In fact, the Pro View is my personal favorite. Just swiped over and collects his paycheck. Beautiful stuff there from Bono. Identifying targets, being aggressive when he needed to be, instead of just throwing aggression to the wind, which has largely got KT into a lot of trouble. With Bono at the helm, this was definitely a different example. This was controlled aggression. This was the rest of KT playing around Bono's location and allowing him to succeed. And just shows, I mean, he is a very mechanically gifted player. Always has been. It's been his decision-making that's got him into trouble. Not so much in this game, though. As, pretty clean stuff from the Lee Sin. It's just going to be that solo interview. We'll see what Sunkei is going to be able to get out of Bono here, because we don't get to see him.
Yeah, we don't know what really is going to be on his mind, as well as this is a super important win for them as they near the end of round 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So I believe that interview is just around the corner. And I think we have G-Sun standing by with some interview translation as well. There is no music anymore. As here we go. There's the interview.
There it is.
So take it away, G-Sun.
Thank you very much, guys. This is G-Sun with the translation, and we'll be hearing from Bono picking up the second match win of the split. Bono, in the previous interview, even before the split, you said you want to have a really great start of the season. So how do you feel right now? Compared to the spring split, I think we were able to stop the losing streak earlier. But recently we were really underperforming and having really bad results, so it was a little bit worrisome. But today, I'm happy that we were able to get a very clean result. Holding mic with 2 hands from Bono. But let's move on to the game talk. So, this is the first ever solo POG from the jungle role. Congratulations again on that. And people say the junglers are not really highlighted in the current meta, so how do you feel about it? Recently, I was really underperforming, so my team was taking extra care of me, so I was able to get this POG. Our teammates was helping me out a lot. In the last spring split, KT Rolster, their activity, their teamwork building was the core of them to come back. So how were you guys able to stop the losing streak this time around? What was the feedback about? Just like the spring split, whenever we have a losing streak, Hirai, our head coach, always tries to kind of turn the mood and atmosphere of our team. And thanks to that, even though we had a very bad performance in the last series, we were able to come back really soon. What's your favorite teamwork building activity
보통 방탈출했다고 많이
Well,
하시는데
a lot of people always say the room escape.
방탈출도 괜찮은데
We did that. I mean, that's true. But I like that.
좀더 마음을 터놓고
But
얘기하는
I like to have
거
conversation with my teammates. That was really helpful for me.
음료와 곁들여서 얘기하는 그런 거 역시 팀원을 그 화합하는 데 굉장히 도움이 됐군요. 그렇죠?
네.
It did a little bit with drinking to kind of boost the atmosphere. And you did mention that last series you guys are doing a really bad performance, but it was a huge turnaround today.
지난 경기에 되게 전체적으로
In the last series,
저 포함해서 모든
overall,
선수들이
I mean,
좀 많이
including me,
긴장했었고
every player
이겨야 된다는
was
그런
super nervous,
생각을
and we
많이
had a
가지고
big
있었는데
pressure
오늘은
about the victory.
그때 지고 나서
But this time
약간
around,
들어오고
after
좀
that
약간
loss,
마음 편하게
we went back
하자
to
그런
the
느낌으로
drawing board. We wanted to have a really comfortable state of mind for this game.
좀 있던데 니달리가 이제 KT 막픽으로
So,
나왔었잖아요.
Nidalee was the last pick for game number 1 on the side of KT, and it's on a really decent win rate overall. So, how would I like to rate this champion?
편하게 할수
It's a really
좋은
good
픽인 것
pick
같습니다.
into Trundle. You can have a very comfortable game against him.
안 봐주는 정글러들이 되게
A
많거든요.
lot of
어제 도란 막
junglers
승질내고
are
그랬어요.
not taking care of the
그렇고
top lane
이게 사실 많은 이유들이
recently.
있을 것 같은데
네.
There
바텀을
must be a
좀
lot of
그만큼 신뢰해서인가요?
reasons.
아니면
Maybe
뭐 다른
because
이유가 있어서 탑을
bottom
좀
lane
자주
matters a
가시나요?
lot, or
스맵의 영향력이
why
그만큼
is
큰 건가
that?
뭐 여러 가지
Is that because
생각이
Smap
들어요.
has huge control over the
저희 팀이
map?
좀, 그리고 최근에 저를 많이
Our
배려해주고
team,
그냥
they're
편한
taking a
대로
really good
하라고
care of me
바텀
recently.
쪽에서도
They're just letting me do
좀
whatever I
여유가
want to do.
있어도 그냥 하고 싶은 대로
And
해라, 올라가라 이런 식으로 많이
Also, the
해줘서
bottom duo, they
제가
always tell
편하게
me
탑에
that just do your game,
가야 되지 않았나.
just move freely around. They were having the priority, so I was able to roam to the top side of the map.
그리고 오늘 강타 싸움 다 이겼대요.
And you won all these fight fights
분위기 좀 괜찮을
today.
것 같은데요. 어때요?
제가 연습 때도
What a performance!
진짜 너무 요새 많이 뺏겨서
I mean, I got stolen for so many times during the scrims,
요새
especially.
다시
So I was
방법이 잘
actually
돼가고 있어서
losing my
자신감을
confidence,
찾을 것
but
같습니다. 예.
well, thanks to this performance today, I will be able to kind of recover it.
일단 오늘 상황은
So who's
다
in the lead?
저희가
The
요럴
one
때까지
trying to
싸움을
steal it, or
이기는
the
각이라고
one who was
봐서
trying
편하게
to
인해서 좀 많이
take it
뺐던 것
away
같아요.
at the first place?
마을이 제일 중요하다.
Well, I mean, for today, I think I was feeling really comfortable, so I was able to win many smite fights.
네.
거기 대해서도 어떻게 팀적으로 좀 바라보셨나요?
일단 저희가 스프링 때도 그렇고
And in the spring
선수
split,
일라우에
you
되게
know,
많이 당해서
we were punished by Ix's Ilaoi a lot, so we were thinking to ban it away. But this time around, Smap, he played into that pick really well, so we were having a very smooth game.
오늘 원딜 밴들이 엄청 많이 됐었거든요. 그러니까
We
이
saw a
그림들이
lot of
나오는
AD
경우도
carry
있고 그렇지 않은 경우도
champions being
있었습니다만
banned
오늘
out.
좀 이런 장면들이 나왔잖아요. 뭐 예측한 부분이
Was
있었고
that
뭐 혹시 뭐
expected?
에이밍 선수가 이것 때문에 뭐 다른 느낌
And
받았고
was
이런 장면들이
like
있었나요?
aiming
어떻습니까?
react to it in a different way?
변할 줄은 몰라서
We really didn't really
살짝
expect that
당황했었는데
they would ban out
하나가
so
좀
many AD carry champions.
기원일도 다 이것저것 잘해서
But aiming, he's just good at both AD carry champions and non-AD carry champions. So we were confident.
자, 다음 경기가 이제 아프리카 프릭스입니다.
Your next opponent will be
연승이
Africa
스프린트 이제 파란색
Freaks.
쭉쭉 올라가면서
You guys,
기세
you know,
타는 뭐 여러
made
가지
up
장면들이 있었는데
8-match
연승을
winning
찍기 위해서
streak
아프리카 프릭스를
in
잡아야
the spring
되거든요.
split. So in
다음
order
말씀
to start
부탁드리겠습니다.
that, you have to take down Africa
저희가
Freaks.
스프링 때 아프리카를 다 이겼었는데
Well,
이번에도 역시
we defeated Africa Freaks every time the spring split, so I will make it happen again this time around as well and keep this winning streak going. This will be the end of the solo POG interview from Bono from KT
감사합니다.
Rolster, and I'm
축하합니다.
gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jisun, as per usual, for the wonderful interview translation. Great to hear from Bono. I think if you were to ask any KT fans who they expected the double POG to be, it would not have been Bono coming into today. But after today, if you watch the games, absolutely makes sense. As KT will move up to solo 7th place with their second match victory. Now up against Africa at the end of the week. It's going to be a very telling one. You already mapped this one out for us, LS. The fight for 5th place between what seems to be Africa, Dynamics, and KT, assuming that T1 are going to move up the standings. Now, guys, you may see T1 in 6th right now. If they win against Gen G 2-0, they move to 3rd.
Yeah.
That is a pretty whopping jump.
That is, yeah, that's pretty big, actually.
They'll be completely even with Gen G as far as game score, but they'll have the head-to-head, so theoretically they will be ahead of them. might show it as tied, but if you do have to break that tie, head-to-head does come into account, and therefore they will be in the lead. So T1 not out of it just yet, although Gen G certainly looking very strong. And the Dom 1 test was passed by Gen G and failed by T1.
Well, get your coin ready for T1's drafts. Heads or tails?
Well, not entirely sure. I ain't going to flip it yet. I'll keep you guys on your toes, and we'll have to find out after the break. It's going to be a pretty long one, guys, so make sure you get yourselves as ready as possible for what is going to be a huge one. The spring final rematch with Gen G and T1 just after this.